Chosen one, pause everything else for just one moment and allow the weight of these words to settle in your spirit. You are here, right now, for a purpose, drawn by an unseen hand that wants to reveal a new reality to you. There are no coincidences in God's grand tapestry. If you can feel your heart stirring, an inner voice telling you that abundance is at your doorstep, then trust that nudge. You are closer to a financial breakthrough than you've ever dared to believe. A moment is approaching when you will spend money like water, not in reckless abandon, but in joyous freedom, assured that your supply will never run dry. If that resonates with the deepest part of your soul, I invite you to type 777. By doing this, you are declaring that you're ready to receive a blessing so massive it defies logic, a blessing that will allow you to live and give without constraints. Perhaps you've known struggle all too well. Perhaps you've lain awake at night, worried about how you'd pay bills or handle unexpected expenses. You felt that knot in your stomach when you open your wallet and see less than you hoped. But a shift is on its way, one so immense that once it begins, the days of scraping by will fade into memory. This transformation will be more than a handful of random lucky breaks. It will be a sustained flow of resources that positions you to live in a constant state of overflow. You might be wondering, can this really be true? Is it even possible for me? Yes, it can. The same God who created galaxies has no issue providing for your needs and more, if something within you responds to that truth. Type 777 to signify you are ready to step into a realm where scarcity becomes a foreign concept. Now let me bring you deeper into the heart of this message. Picture a large, clear river, its waters rushing powerfully, never ceasing, never running low. That is the vision for your finances. Money will flow to you not because of luck or cunning, but because you have aligned your intentions and faith with divine provision. No longer will you approach money with fear or a sense of grasping desperation. Instead, you will adopt an outlook of open-handed generosity, confident that more is always on the way. As you shift your mindset, you'll see opportunities you once overlooked. You'll develop creative ideas that generate income in ways you never imagined. If you feel even the smallest flicker of hope at this possibility, type 777 and let that small action echo your heart's readiness for a financial revolution. Let me assure you, this transformation is not about feeding greed or fueling reckless consumption. It's about stepping into the abundant life you were meant to live. Money can be a tremendous tool for blessing others, for creating stability, for funding dreams that benefit not just you but entire communities. If you sense God calling you to do more, to give more, to serve more, you need resources to accomplish that holy task. Remember that freedom from financial chains doesn't merely bring personal comfort, it positions you to meet needs far beyond your own household. When you spend money like water, you do so in a spirit of joyful stewardship, trusting that the source never runs out. If that resonates, type 777 as a declaration that your gains will be used for good, uplifting everyone you touch. Take a moment to reflect on the times you've glimpsed small tastes of abundance. Maybe you received an unexpected check, or a friend paid for your meal, or you found a better job than you expected. Those moments weren't accidents. They were foreshadowings, hints from heaven to remind you that you were never created for lack. The seeds of your financial miracle have been planted, and now they are about to blossom. It's essential, however, that you prepare your mindset. If you keep expecting to struggle, you might not recognize the opportunities heading your way. Therefore, practice a posture of gratitude. Wake up each day and thank God for the little blessings: a safe bed, clean water, food in the fridge. Gratitude creates a fertile atmosphere for bigger blessings to land. If you're ready to fertilize your future with thankfulness, comment 777 now, cementing your spirit in a posture of abundance. Imagine how your life will shift once this supernatural flow of income stabilizes in your reality. Bills that once caused anxiety will become a routine part of your life, paid early, paid effortlessly, not a worry in your mind. Debts that felt crushing will melt away under the steady influx of new resources. You'll be able to invest, to save, to give, to build, and to enjoy. Think about having the means to bless a family in need, or to sponsor a charitable initiative spontaneously, or to reward someone who's shown kindness. That's the essence of spending freely like water. The confidence to do good without hesitation. If your spirit lights up at the thought of living so generously, type 777 to proclaim you're ready to manifest that kind of open-handed living. We must also address the fear that often grips our hearts when we speak about money. The fear of losing it, the fear of not having enough, the fear of managing it poorly or being judged for wealth. These anxieties can sabotage even the greatest blessings. You must realize that fear is the enemy's weapon to stop you from embracing your God-given destiny. Fear can whisper, "Don't dream too big, don't set your hopes too high," or "You'll just end up disappointed." But your calling is to rise above that voice, to stand on the promise that if God can feed thousands with a few loaves and fish, He can multiply your resources beyond your wildest hopes. When fear tries to creep in, replace it with the bold affirmation, "My provision comes from a limitless source." If you're committed to dethroning fear and enthroning faith, type 777 and let that be your stand. Practical wisdom has its place. Being a good steward means planning, investing, and making wise decisions, but never with a spirit of scarcity. When the money begins to roll in, you must channel it effectively. An ocean can fill 1,000,000 cups, but it can also overflow destructively if misdirected. Pray for discernment on how to handle the windfalls. Seek advice from trustworthy mentors, read about financial management, and keep your heart open to divine nudges. Perhaps you'll sense a prompting to sow a portion of your income into a certain mission project, or invest in a startup that aligns with your values. Maybe you'll feel led to start a philanthropic initiative or sponsor educational opportunities for those less fortunate. Each act of faith-driven generosity positions you for even greater outpouring. If you desire the wisdom to navigate these waters, type 777 now, claiming godly insight for stewardship. You may have grown up hearing that money is the root of all evil, yet the true scripture says it's the love of money that can lead people astray. Money itself is neutral. In the hands of righteous, loving individuals, it fuels generosity and growth. In the hands of the selfish, it can become a weapon of harm. That's why your heart posture matters immensely. Prepare yourself to hold your wealth loosely, always ready to share. Adopt the mindset that everything you have is merely on loan, entrusted to you so that you can make a positive impact. If you vow to let your future riches reflect God's goodness, Type 777 to seal that promise. By doing so, you are saying, I will not let wealth control me. I will control wealth under divine guidance. Let's delve into the experiential aspect of this new reality. Visualize yourself walking into a store or a restaurant, no longer checking your balance in fear or carefully counting every dollar. Instead, your internal dialogue is, this is covered. I have enough and more. Picture the relaxation in your mind and body, the lightness in your step, and the friendly energy you radiate toward those around you because you're not weighed down by worry. That sense of ease reflects your faith in an unceasing flow. Others might be puzzled by your calm confidence, but you know that your supply is anchored in a higher power. If you yearn for that mental tranquility, drop 777 right now, symbolizing the restful spirit you're embracing. Now, some might question, why me? What qualifies me for this level of blessing? The simple truth is that you are chosen. You've walked a journey that has shaped your character, taught you resilience, and honed your compassion. Those qualities matter greatly because they ensure you will use abundance responsibly and kindly. Your past difficulties don't disqualify you, they prepare you. Have you not prayed for relief? Have you not yearned for a chance to bless your family and those in need? This is your confirmation that your prayers were heard. The waiting was not punishment, but preparation. If you agree that your struggles have strengthened your ability to handle immense blessing, type 777 as a seal on your readiness. Many testimonies exist of people who've experienced miraculous financial turnarounds. Checks arriving out of nowhere, debts supernaturally cancelled, business deals that quadrupled their revenue. These are not fairy tales or wishful fantasies. They are real instances of divine favor. Open your heart to the possibility that you could be next. In fact, adopt the expectancy that you are next. This expectancy transforms your mindset from one of dread to joyous anticipation. When you approach each day saying, I wonder in what way blessings will find me today, you become a magnet for them. Remember, faith is the substance of things hoped for, and hope is the bright lamp shining in your soul, calling forth what is not yet seen. If you're ready to transition from mere hope to steadfast faith, post 777 in the comments to mark the shift in your spirit. Allow me to share some practical steps you can take. First, practice daily affirmations. Money flows to me effortlessly and continuously. I am a conduit of financial blessings. My source is infinite. Speak these affirmations aloud each morning, letting them reshape your neural pathways. Second, declutter your life. Clear out old items you don't use, old documents that symbolize stagnation. Physical decluttering often correlates with spiritual openness. Third, cultivate generosity even if you have little right now. Start small. A couple of dollars to a person in need, or buying a coffee for a friend without expecting anything in return. This signals that you trust that more is coming. If you're willing to take these steps, let 777 be your signature of commitment. Another element to consider is how your relationships will evolve when you begin to spend money freely. Some around you might misunderstand or become jealous. They might accuse you of changing or becoming proud. Stand your ground with humility. Explain that this abundance is a gift you want to share. Let your sincerity shine, and those with open hearts will celebrate with you. Others might pressure you for handouts or manipulate your generosity. Have boundaries. Generosity must be guided by discernment. You can help others rise without becoming their crutch. If you're prepared to navigate these relational changes with wisdom and compassion, type 777 as an indication that you won't let negativity derail your calling. You might also wonder if this new chapter means you'll have to hustle non-stop, ignoring rest and burning out. Not so. True abundance often arrives when you operate from a place of rest, trusting that your value isn't tied to working yourself to the bone. Yes, diligence is essential, but frantic hustle suggests you don't trust God's hand in your finances. Instead, imagine yourself working diligently yet peacefully, completing tasks with excellence, then taking time for rest, reflection, and family, knowing you don't have to push beyond your limits to see results. If you embrace the concept of balanced abundance, type 777 to confirm you will not become a slave to money, but rather a steward of it in tandem with rest and joy. In this journey, you might experience occasional setbacks or tests. Don't let them discourage you. Setbacks can be disguised stepping stones, catalysts that push you to adopt higher wisdom. Maybe a business deal falls through, or an unexpected expense arises. Instead of caving to despair, see it as a moment to reaffirm your trust in the unstoppable flow. Respond with prayerful action. I will find an even better business deal. This expense is an opportunity for me to step out in faith. Each time you react to challenges with bold conviction, you reinforce the pipeline that funnels resources your way. If you decide that no setback can rob you of your miracle, stamp 777 to show your unwavering resolve. And let's not forget the spiritual dimension. This entire message hinges on the fact that God is your ultimate source. If you rely solely on your own intellect or luck, you may find occasional success, but not the river-like flow that never ends. Your tasks are important: building skills, forging connections, marketing your offerings, but these are vehicles. The engine propelling them is divine favor. Every day, surrender your plans to the one who sees the bigger picture. Ask, Lord, how can I align with your purpose for my finances today? Then move forward with an open heart. If you commit to daily surrender, type 777 to signal that you are not the master of your own destiny, but a cooperative partner with heaven itself. Let's talk about the joyous feeling of generosity. When you have more than enough, giving becomes a delight, not a burden. You might sponsor a child's education, fund a local shelter, or invest in emerging entrepreneurs who lack capital. Each gift you offer becomes a seed that multiplies blessings in other people's lives and returns to you multiplied. The principle of sowing and reaping is timeless. In this flow, your generosity accelerates the cycle of abundance, cementing a legacy of positive change. If you see yourself writing those generous checks or surprising loved ones with thoughtful gifts, type 777 to declare you're stepping into that cycle of giving, receiving, and giving again. Consider how your life testimony will shift. Right now, you might look around and see bills, see limitations, see the strain. Soon you'll look around and see that every need is met and then some. Others might ask, how did you do it? That's your chance to share about the wonders of faith, about the moment you decided to believe for more. You will speak of the time you typed 777, stepping out of fear and into expectancy, a simple act that symbolized your shift. People will sense the authenticity in your story and realize you're living proof that everyday individuals can experience the extraordinary. If you're ready to become that living testimony, enter 777 now, sealing your role as an example of what's possible. You might find yourself stepping into leadership roles where you coach others on how to cultivate a prosperous mindset. Because once you're free, you want others to be free too. You'll have the credibility to say, "I've been in the valley of lack, and I rose out of it by tapping into a higher power and shifting my beliefs. You can do it too." Imagine the ripple effect as families, communities, even entire regions break the cycles of poverty. God's plan is never just about blessing one person in isolation. It's about forming a network of blessed souls who transform society. If you're open to that bigger purpose, type 777 to align yourself with a destiny that goes beyond personal gain. Embrace the notion that you will spend money like water, not to show off, but as a demonstration of unwavering faith in a God who lacks nothing. Each time you purchase something, whether small or significant, you'll do so with a grateful heart and a gentle smile, reminding yourself that your finances are replenished from a well that never empties. And each time you witness someone in need, you'll help them without agonizing over your own losses. That is true freedom, the end of money anxiety, replaced by confidence in daily miracles. If that level of liberty calls out to you, type 777, and let the resonance of that number echo your vow to live unchained from fear. Now consider the emotional atmosphere in your home when you're no longer weighed down by money worries. Your children, your partner, your relatives, they will sense your lightness, your restful attitude, and your readiness to be fully present with them. Stress about finances can be insidious, poisoning relationships and breeding tension. But you will carry a different energy, hopeful, relaxed, ready to laugh. That environment fosters deeper bonding, fosters creativity, fosters spiritual growth. If you're longing for that shift in your household dynamics, post 777 to seal your household under a banner of abundance and peace. Let me encourage you to keep a journal of every small breakthrough that comes your way. Maybe you find a $10 bill on the sidewalk, or someone unexpectedly buys you lunch, or your boss awards you a raise out of the blue. Record each instance and reflect on them in prayerful gratitude. Over time, you'll see a pattern of favor that only increases. Then, when you face a moment of doubt, you can flip back through these pages and remind yourself, if God did it once, He can do it again, and even bigger this time. Keeping this record fortifies your faith. If you decide to adopt this practice of tracking blessings, type 777 to underscore your commitment to acknowledging every drop of goodness. Some might ask, what if I'm older? Is it too late for me to experience such a flow? Age is but a number in the divine plan. People have started successful businesses in their 60s or 70s, have discovered new revenue streams well into retirement. The mind can remain fertile ground for fresh ideas at any stage of life. Moreover, your years of life experience can offer wisdom younger folks may not have. So don't disqualify yourself. If you still have breath in your lungs, you have the capacity to receive and dispense blessings. If you choose to break the barrier of age-limiting beliefs, type 777 and let that act defy any notion that you're too old or too late. Others might wonder about their geographical or economic circumstances. I live in a struggling region. How could prosperity find me here? God's reach is not limited by geography or local economic conditions. You might be led to online ventures that tap into a global market, or discover creative ways to fill a niche in your community. Once you open your mind to the idea that money can come from multiple channels, you'll realize that you are not restricted to your immediate surroundings. If you're ready to think outside your circumstances, type 777, reaffirming that you believe in a God unlimited by location or current economic climate. As the process unfolds, watch your speech. Words carry power. If you constantly say, "I'm broke," or "I can't afford that," you sabotage your blessings. Practice speaking life. I'm on the rise financially. My cup overflows. Opportunities chase me down. This positive confession rewires your mindset and alerts you to possibilities you previously dismissed. If you catch yourself uttering negativity, correct it immediately. Over time, this practice becomes second nature, and your external reality will start to mirror your internal declarations. If you promise to guard your words and only speak what aligns with abundance, type 777 to make that vow public, at least in this spiritual sense. As the blessings pour in, remain humble. Boasting about your wealth or flaunting it to belittle others only sours the gift. True humility is acknowledging that everything you have is by grace, not merely by your own brilliance. Let your financial favor become a vehicle to elevate others rather than overshadow them. The moment you shift from humility to arrogance, you risk clogging the pipeline of blessings. Pride always precedes a fall, so let humility anchor you in gratitude. If you choose to remain humble, no matter how large your accounts grow, type 777 to remind yourself that humility is the key to sustained favor. Your breakthrough will also have a supernatural dimension. Beyond numbers in a bank account, you'll notice a sense of peace, assurance, and even miracles that can't be explained logically. Deals closing at the exact moment you need them, unexpected bonuses, or even discounts appearing repeatedly. Embrace these coincidences for what they are, signs that you've tapped into a heavenly economy. Let them bolster your trust, removing any lingering skepticism. If you're ready to live in a reality where such wonders become the norm, type 777 to open the gates for supernatural orchestration. Months from now, you might look back on this day and realize it was the turning point, the moment you aligned your faith with the unstoppable flow. You'll remember how you typed 777 as a small yet potent act, shifting the atmosphere around you. Perhaps your family will recall it too, saying, "Everything changed when we decided to believe for more." That reflection will stir worship in your heart, a grateful recognition that you overcame fear and doubt to embrace your rightful inheritance. If you yearn for that future memory, post 777 in the comments section to imprint this day in your spiritual timeline. And so, chosen one, stand at the threshold of this new chapter without trembling. Boldly walk through the doorway into financial freedom. Remind yourself daily, you are destined to spend money like water, to give lavishly, to dream expansively, and to live in a realm where your resources reflect the abundance of God's kingdom. Let your spirit exhale a sigh of relief, releasing every chain of lack or doubt. Step into your role as a conduit of prosperity, not just for yourself, but for everyone you'll touch. If your heart is ablaze with excitement, let 777 be your final affirmation, a triumphant shout that says, I am ready, I am expectant, and I am chosen. Now go forth carrying this promise in your heart. Expect the unexpected. Watch for open doors, for surprising twists, for blessings that find you even when you're not looking. Guard your gratitude, let humility guide you, and hold tight to the divine truth that your finances are under heaven's jurisdiction. You stand on the brink of a miracle, dear soul, and the world is about to witness what happens when a chosen one fully embraces the call to overflow. The days of barely scraping by are gone. Step into the flow of unstoppable provision. This is your time. This is your destiny. With every fiber of your being, believe it, live it, and never stop celebrating it.